Hey guys, so we've been toying with this idea of maybe getting a camper van and trying out the van life. So we thought instead of just pulling the trigger and spending $100 grand on a van, maybe we'd see if we liked it or not. So what better way to do that than to rent a van and take 3 weeks to go over 2,000 miles? We're going to tell you all about that coming up. Thanks. Oh, thanks. We're going to do that, so stay tuned.
Hi, we're Jeff and Sonny. We retired early, sold everything we owned that didn't fit into 2 carry-ons and 2 backpacks, and now we slow travel the world. Join us on this groovy adventure as we explore retirement life on the road.
There we are with our drinks. So as a summary of what we did was we traveled from Phoenix to Seattle, which was a grand total of 2,140 miles. I almost said dollars. Miles.
If only.
Yeah, it was a little more than that.
We'll get to that too.
And we went across 5 states. Like I said, we started in Phoenix.
Unless you count the state of confusion, right? See?
Oh my God. See what I live with?
I had to throw that in there.
Okay.
Was that
Did I
it?
say everything I wanted?
I don't know. Did you?
Cut. Okay.
This is keyboard.
So we rented this vehicle for 21 days, and we didn't do it just for a vacation. I'm actually not sure why anybody would rent that for a vacation, because
They're not cheap.
it was more expensive than just driving and staying in a hotel, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, you wouldn't even have to stay in cheap hotels.
no,
So
So-
yeah, and we'll get to the prices later. But yeah,
it was
I don't know why you'd do it otherwise.
right. And but we did it not as a vacation. We did it as a trial run, because like Jeff said at the beginning, we needed to see whether or not van life was for us, and we didn't want to just jump into a van and not know, first of all, if we liked it. Second of all, we also used this trip as a way to see what we might like in our van as well.
Yeah, what kind of layout and things we liked and didn't like about vans. And when you spend 3 weeks cramped up that close, you learn a little bit about yourselves, but you also learn a lot about what you like and don't like in the van.
Right.
So if you've watched any of our videos, you know that we have our different travel modes that we classify our yearly travels in. And we've got savings mode, vacation mode, and living mode. And this one falls into living mode. And the way it does that is we found that when we're on the road traveling all of these cool locations, that we miss things like camping and being in the outdoors and just being out in nature, because you don't usually get that. You usually fly into some big city and you're kind of stuck in a big city, and which is cool, but we really missed being outdoors, which we spent a lot of our lives doing. So this really sort of scratches that itch, and we're hoping that we would like it and maybe add this to the mix, our yearly travels, and throw in some camper van stuff.
I look at it as kind of a mobile home base for us, because it gives us also a place that we can store things like golf clubs and some of my crafting items and your tennis racket and things like that. So it's kind of a home base for us, give us that home feel, but it's mobile, so we can obviously take it wherever we want.
That takes the pressure off of some of our relatives who are hanging on to those items currently for us, and which gets a little tricky when some of them move to different cities, and now we've got to chase our gear around and whatnot. So it'd be nice to have our stuff all in one place for a change.
Right.
All right, so the whole trip began, we left Oaxaca, Mexico, and flew into Phoenix, Arizona, where we picked up our van from a company called Roadsurfer. And it was a good experience. Picked up the van, they were pretty helpful. There was a few things I would maybe coach them on that might help, but
Might have helped us.
yeah.
Being that we'd never had a van before, never driven a van, never operated a van.
Yeah.
it's almost like they assumed that we kind of knew what we were doing. And
Well, they
we
send you
didn't.
they send you links to videos that teach you about the van and stuff, but it's a lot of information.
Yeah.
And like for instance, we took the van out, went to our first location, and there was no water in the tank. And I'm sure maybe in the videos somewhere along the way it said something about you had to put water in it, but they didn't say anything when we left. So luckily we had, some bottles of water that we got us through the night. But it would have been nice if they'd reminded us maybe on the way out that you might want to fill up the water tank.
It would have been nice, but we picked up. It was nice that the hotel that we stayed at before we picked up the van, the hotel gave us plenty of water bottles, and I happened to just throw them into a bag, thinking, well, just in case.
Along with all the shampoo and all the soaps and everything,
No.
anything she could carry, basically.
It's free, isn't it?
But one thing we did discover, the first beauty of the camper van is how flexible you can be. Because our first night we had booked a
Harvest Host.
And we'll go into that a little bit, what that is. Well, I'll do it now. Harvest Host is it's an app you can get on, and you can camp for free at places like vineyards and farms and breweries and all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they just ask you to, buy about $30 worth of stuff from your host. So we had booked a Harvest Host in Blythe, California, which is west of Phoenix. So, roughly the same latitude. And when we got to Phoenix, it was the mid-90s and it was really dry. It was nice. It wasn't too bad. But they were supposed to get to like 105 in Blythe the next day. And we were at a golf course Harvest Host, and they were going to be closed. They said we could stay there, but they're going to be closed. So we're going to be sitting in a parking lot in 105-degree weather. Didn't appeal to us, so we decided to cancel that and head north up into the mountains and chase the cool weather. And we were successful. It was beautiful.
It was a good thing that we did, too, because as we mentioned before, the water tank wasn't full.
Right.
We wouldn't have been able to use their restroom, and we wouldn't have been able to use the restroom in the van because it didn't have any water.
Yeah.
So
That would have been fun.
it ended up being a good thing that we pivoted.
Yeah.
All right, so we picked up the van, and then we headed to White Horse Lake Campground. I believe it was a national park campground.
I think so.
I think so.
National Forest.
National Forest Campground, that's right.
Yeah.
And which, by the way, if you have a America the Beautiful card, gets you into the national parks. It also can get you sometimes half off on the cost of the campground.
National Forest campgrounds. Some of the park hosts weren't aware of this fact, but it is a thing. So
Yeah.
most of the time we did get a discount. So it came in very handy. And we got to test the durability of the van because it was a long, it was like 15-mile washboard road into the lake.
Yeah.
And, that thing was rattling around like crazy.
Yeah.
But did fine.
Yeah.
Did fine. And just in case you're interested, the van that we had was a Winnebago
Solus?
Solus, yes, which is on a Ram.
Dodge Ram
body. So, not our choice of vehicles, but that's what they had, and we know now that that's not what we want. But it did fine. Got us in there, and except for the lack of water, it was a very nice day. It was beautiful there, nice and cool. It wasn't 105 degrees, I'll tell you that.
No. And from there, we moved on we went and did some sightseeing. On this trip, we decided that we would like to travel 2, 3, maybe a max of 4 hours a day, so that we could have our slow mornings that we like, and then we could get to the next site and see things along the way, and or at the destination, get out and see some things or do some hikes.
Yeah, try to get to the campground by 3, 4 in the afternoon, something like that.
So we moved on to Cameron Trading Post.
It was on the Indian reservation.
Yeah.
Which fun fact.
That's right.
The time change As some of you probably know, Arizona doesn't change time to daylight savings time, but if you're on the Indian reservation, they do. So it gets a little confusing as to what time it is where you happen to be at any moment.
Right.
So if you have something scheduled in one of those places and you're going through one or the other, just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do some
Ask
math.
them what time zone they are in or what time zone they observe
Yeah.
when you're doing that. Because we were confused. We went back and forth. You're driving in and out of the time zone. It
But
was
Luckily,
interesting.
we're retired and we don't care what time it is anyway.
Right.
That was an interesting one. Not a beautiful campground. It's right off the highway, right by the.
It's basically a parking lot
Yeah.
for campground.
Yeah,
for
it's just a big
campers.
trading post, and I mean.
There was no showers, no bathrooms.
Well, there's bathrooms.
Well, you have to
walk
cross.
across the
You have
highway.
to play Frogger
Yeah.
across the highway, or you could go under.
There was a tunnel.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, if you're gonna go to something like that, I'd go to Buc-ee's instead of this place. But there was a lot of cool little things to see. It's not far from the Grand Canyon, so there's lots of canyons and all sorts of stuff there to see. So it was kind of cool. And is that?
I'd look here because this has everything we need in
Oh,
it.
there you go.
We don't need
We
this.
don't need that.
No, we don't need this one.
And that's from there. Did we go to the Navajo Bridge where we saw the condors?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw condors, California
Yes.
condors, which is only like 450 of them left in
Yeah.
nature. So
Not very many.
there was 5 of them there. We only could see 2 of them, but got some pictures we'll show you. So that was kind of cool. Something we didn't expect to see.
Yeah, and the reason we knew there was 3 others underneath was because there was a lady there with the
Biologist,
an
she had her
antenna thing where they track them, and she could tell that there was 3 juveniles underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
As carrion eaters, they're getting it from eating something that has been shot by a lead bullet, usually deer or elk. We've been working a lot with hunters to get them to switch over to copper, steel, bismuth, any of the great alternatives,
Right, yeah.
or just take the whole thing out of the field.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
From there, we wound up in Jacob Lake Campground, and I'm trying to remember Jacob Lake. That was one kind of up on top, right?
Yeah, it's where we went in and got those cookies.
Yeah, cookies.
See, I remember the cookies.
Right. Yeah. That was a nice one. That was a
Yeah.
really nice place.
That was another National Forest campground.
Yeah.
We picked one that was off, and we had that whole little background area, and we took a little hike that next morning, and then we camped. That was another thing we loved about the Campervan. It's so easy to just pack up and go
Oh,
whenever
yeah.
you're ready.
It takes like 5 minutes.
And 5 minutes to set up too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's awesome.
We've had tent trailers, small camp trailers, and
You have to hook 'em up.
They got as we went, from tent to tent trailer. It got a little bit easier to set up and tear down, and then the trailer was easier to set. But this is a breeze. It's
Yeah,
so
this
easy.
was awesome.
Yeah, we're digging that part for
Yeah.
sure.
As we go along, we'll just interject different things that we remembered that we liked about our van, and we can summarize it at
Because
the
that's
end.
what we're like squirrel.
We are. All right. So from Jacobs Lake, we drove, looks like 2 hours and 17 minutes, and we went to Cedar City.
Those people we met at the hotel the other night, they were from Cedar
They were
City.
from Cedar City.
I thought
Yeah.
we'd been through there.
Yeah.
What a coinky dink.
Yeah. It was. And we walked around Cedar City for a little bit, and then we went off another hour, looks like 51 minutes, and stayed at the town of Beaver has a KOA. Here we go again with the squirrel. So the reason we went to the KOA was that we decided it was time to get showers, do some laundry, and do some work. So they would have Wi-Fi. So we went ahead and booked the KOA at, I believe it was $79 a night, so that we could do all those things. After we were through with that, we kind of decided that we didn't need to stay at KOAs to do those things. We could pick up those things other places. So sorry KOA, but it's a little expensive for that,
Yeah.
and I don't think we would probably stay there again. KOAs might be good if you have a family, because they have those swimming pool, and
Right.
they have fun things for the kids to do and stuff like that. So I can see where the KOAs have their value, but for us, it just wasn't worth that much money for those things.
No.
We could get into a cafe and get the Wi-Fi. We could pop into a laundromat if we needed
Yeah,
to.
because it's not like the laundry's included. You have to
Right,
pay
you
extra
have to
for
pay.
the laundry anyway. So it's really, you're not gaining anything by spending the money on the KOA.
So that was a realization that we came to with that.
When did we do Howard? Was that Howard?
Howard.
What was that town in Arizona?
William?
William?
Williams was the buffering. Williams was somewhere like after, it was right after the White Horse Lake.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
backtrack.
So yeah, sorry. Yeah, we went to this Williams.
Yeah, Williams.
Williams, Arizona. It's on Route 66, and it's kind of a fun little town. It's not far from the Grand Canyon, so they get a lot of tourists through there. Yeah, they had a dinosaur poop museum, and you can't go wrong with dinosaur poop. Sadly, it was closed the day we were there.
It was
but,
closed.
It's there. And just all these little kitschy little Americana sort of places with all these old gas station relics and just cool
Pete?
signs. And we met Pete of Pete's Museum,
Yes.
and had a very long conversation with Pete. And yeah, it was just
It's
a good
fun.
time. I would recommend stopping by there if you're in that part of Arizona.
All right. And then, okay, there's that. There's where we went to next.
Okay.
That's all
You
you.
just don't want to say.
I don't.
All right, so the next place we went to was Mount Timpanogos. Timpanogos?
See why I didn't want to try it? Timpanogos?
Yes, campground. And you have to remind me what that was.
That was in Utah. It was up there by Provo.
I'm trying to picture it.
We'll put some pictures of that campsite. It was another national forest campsite
Uh-huh.
that we went to. So what we did along the way as we went, we were trying out the different ways of camping. So the KOA, of course, we went to just a campground. We went to the national forest campgrounds, and then later on in the trip, as you'll see, we did more harvest hosts and some boondocking as well. That one was that the one that was up by Sundance?
I think so.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just outside of Sundance, Utah. Beautiful up there. That was one of the hosts that was not aware of the 50% discount,
Right.
and there was no budging her on that. So yeah, we just spent a night there. But beautiful old campground.
Yeah. So it's unclear on the whole discount with the America the Beautiful card. There are some hosts that think that it only goes along with the senior America the Beautiful card, and other hosts don't. It doesn't matter to them, or they just don't know or whatever, and they will give it to you whether it's the senior America the Beautiful card or not. So you just have to ask for it, and if they will give it to you, they'll give it to you. If they don't, then it's what we found anyway.
Tough ninjas.
The first one, she offered it to us. She just said, "Oh, do you have the America the Beautiful card?" "Yes, we'll take it. It'd be half price." And then other places I just asked and they gave it to us.
And some places you just fill out an envelope and
Yeah,
stick it
and
in
just
there.
put it on there.
Just
say
write
yes.
your number on there and put it in there.
You have the America the Beautiful
Yeah,
card.
that's one of the hosts I think told us that.
Yeah.
And said if they don't take it, then they'll come by your campground and say, hey, you owe us
This much more.
$15 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So,
It's up to the host's interpretation, apparently.
Yeah.
And then from that, Mount Timpanogos.
Timpanogos.
We moved on to Massacre Rocks State Park.
How's this for a rock? You know what makes this rock impressive? It's the lichen. Which reminds me, this might be a good time to like and subscribe. See what I did there?
In
Again,
Idaho.
we wanted to try different modes of camping, and state park, we thought we'd try that.
Yeah.
That was well worth
this
it
was a
too.
nice state park. They had flush toilets, which is always a bonus when
Yep.
you're out there,
Showers.
and showers. Yeah, this was very nice, and lots of hiking areas, and we had a view of the Snake River, and we
Yeah.
watched the sunset over the Snake River. It was very nice there.
And they had full hookup too.
Yeah.
Well,
Although
not sewer,
no,
but water and electricity.
yeah, their electricity didn't work on ours.
And our
for some
site, it
reason.
didn't
I think
work.
there was something wrong with their breaker because it worked everywhere else. So I think it was them. But yeah, it was a nice park, and yeah, we enjoyed our time there.
We spent a couple nights there.
Yeah, that was like the first one we spent 2 nights at. I think we were so excited that we could just pack up and leave every time. We weren't staying put very long.
It was so easy to do.
Yeah,
but
we decided, we're gonna be way too early at our destination, our final destination, if we don't take a little more time. So we did
enjoy, slow
that.
down a
we
little.
did have one reservation set up on the Oregon coast that we were shooting to get to by a certain date. So we were trying to play with that time and figure out, where we could stay and where we had to move on from.
So that was day 6 and 7. Day 8, it looks like we went on to one of our. Oh, shut up! We went to a harvest host
Our very first harvest host. It was a great experience.
at a winery, and
If you're ever in, where was it? It wasn't.
it's. Let's look. I am looking on a app that we use to plan our trip. It,
We'll do a special video on this app because it's really cool for road trips.
yeah.
So it's near Hammett, Idaho.
Yes.
A place called Cold Springs Winery. If you're ever in the area, I would highly recommend stopping by.
It was
Really nice people.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah,
and,
that was.
And
that
we
was
found
great.
we found out that if you do a tasting there, they're very generous with their pours.
It was so generous. It was 4 different wines, right?
Yeah, we each
4 different
we
wines.
each got a.
We each had a tasting.
Yeah.
So that we could make our $30 contribution.
Yeah.
And but at a tasting, typically they'll pour you,
you'll get a couple
this much in
sips out of it.
a couple sips. She was full. They were full glasses, and not only that, but she was like, "Oh, here, try this.
Oh yeah.
Here,
if you
try
like,
this.
If you like that, try this." And then she'd pour your full glass of that.
Oh my gosh, she was so generous.
And then she's like, "Oh, I have mojitos on tap here. Here's one."
I'm just drinking along. I'm like, "Oh, these taste good. I'm just drinking." And then I fell off the cliff.
Yeah. Pretty soon I look around, she's gone. And people sitting next to me, they're like, "Where's your wife?" I said, "I think she went back to the van."
I was a little sick.
Yeah.
So I had to go back to the van and sleep that off.
She missed the wine cellar tour because
I did.
the girl, she's the owner. She's back there, pouring drinks for us, and she's got champagne on tap, so she's drinking champagne back there, and she's getting a little, So she's like, "Hey, let's go. I'll show you guys the cellar." She goes, "I don't know anything about it because my husband does all the winemaking, but let's go down there anyway." And
I
she's
missed
down
it.
there pouring wine out of the barrels for us, and it was a good time.
We ended up buying
Like $90.
$90 worth of wine.
Because I was left unsupervised. I'm like,
Smart
well,
on their part.
I gotta buy. The other people were buying cases. I'm like, well, I can't be the only one to buy a bottle. I gotta get at least 3.
And she did say, "Not all your harvest hosts are going to be this much fun. I'm going to be the best one."
She was right.
She might have been right.
She set the bar pretty high. I'll tell you that.
She did. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
That was Cold Springs Winery, if I didn't say. So check them out if you're in the area because they're fantastic. Good wines. So
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun.
I don't know if they were $90 good, but they were good wines.
You know how it is at wineries. You always pay more. All right, day 9.
Day 9, we ended up at Steel Legacy Honey Farm. And this was like a complete opposite of the winery. It wasn't bad.
The winery also had a place for us to park, and there was picnic tables out there for us, and
She left the tasting room open so you could go in and use the bathroom.
if you needed to.
'Cause
Not all of them would do that,
I
but
just have to say about this van, it has a cassette toilet in it, so and it's in this little tiny closet thing that I don't hardly fit in, and I just didn't want to.
I barely fit in it.
Yeah, so any chance we had to use a bathroom outside of the van, we took advantage of it. So I really appreciated the fact that she had, left the door open and we could use the bathroom.
And on that note, that was another thing that we would have changed, and we will do different in our van when we get it, is the toilet. I think we are going to go for a toilet that bags it up, seals it off. When we get our van, we'll go over all that with you as well, but that is something we would change as well. And I don't think we would do the shower room.
No, we don't.
Toilet room.
Need those stinking showers.
I think, maybe you could pull a curtain around or whatever, but that room it's tiny, and I barely fit in there to do my deeds. So it's anyway. Back to I digress.
Yes. So the honey place. I mean it was what a basic harvest host is supposed to be.
Yeah.
They gave you a place to park. They didn't charge you. We got to buy some honey. And
It's very good honey, by the way.
They weren't like super friendly. They weren't unfriendly.
They weren't engaging.
Yeah, they just kind of left you alone, and that was fine. But after the winery, we're like, woohoo, let's party. But they're just like, yeah, all right, see you.
We
you
were
can
the
park
only ones
anywhere
there.
over there behind the barn. So.
Yeah.
So.
And it was just a dry piece of dirt and weeds that we parked on.
Yeah.
There was no picnic table. It wasn't set up for the people. It was just a place for us to park.
It was just a place.
Which is fine. It was free.
Yeah, and it was next to an orchard, so you could sit there and look at the orchard.
And we got some really good honey out of it.
Yeah.
So.
But there was no bathroom, so we got up in the morning and just packed up and went to a restaurant, had breakfast.
Yeah.
And used their bathroom.
Yeah. And what are we on day 10?
Yeah, we made it into Oregon, and we got to do our first boondocking. And if you're not familiar with what boondocking is, basically it's just camping like on BLM land and for free. So you just find a spot. There's usually spots out there that already have like fire pits built, or people have put it in, and they're just kind of understood that these are camp spots. And so we found a place near Dayville, Oregon, and it was beautiful.
It was
a little creek running by with a swimming hole.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the cool weather was chasing us, so it was a little too cold to jump in the swimming hole, but I would have if it had been warm. But yeah, it was gorgeous there. And nobody around. It was just us. It was awesome. I like the boondocking thing.
Yeah, the boondocking thing is nice. We'll be doing more of that because you get out in nature. You can just wander around. There's people. It was beautiful sights, and
which is a big reason why we're thinking Campervan's the way to go, because you can get to these boondocking places,
which we love.
You might not be able to get to with a bigger rig. So
yeah. And then we went from there to day 11.
We made it to Prineville, Oregon, where we stayed with my good friend Jeff and his wife Jennifer, and had a nice little stay with them and got to relax and sleep in a real bed. Although the bed in the van was very comfortable, I would say. I didn't feel like we suffered at all sleeping wise.
No, they had a nice mattress in there. So.
Yeah. And then on to Bend, where we stayed a night with my sister, and we slept in the van there. I guess we slept in the van.
We slept in the van in
Prineville too, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all coming back.
That way
to
we
me now.
didn't have to put them out and.
This is awesome. I get to relive this and reminded of what the hell I did.
Right. All right, and then on to day 14.
Yeah, we went from Bend to just outside Lebanon, Oregon.
Yes.
To Berkey's Blueberry Farm. And that was nice because
That was
we got
nice.
blueberry pie.
Yes, and blueberry jam, blueberry syrup.
Yeah. They had the sugar-free blueberry jam and the regular blueberry jam. We tried both.
Yes.
And the sugar-free was by far the best. They were both really good. And their camp spots were really nice. They were kind of across the road, right on the river. We got beat there by 2 other rigs, so they got the prime river spots.
They did.
But it's still
But it's
nice.
still beautiful.
Yeah.
So something to know about Harvest Host. You get on and the host will tell you their rules, what they prefer. And at this particular one, they preferred that we didn't check in or get there until after 3. So me, the rule follower that I am, I did that. We got there at about 3:15 and realized that 2 people had gotten there at
Hours
12
before us.
and 2 and taken the other 2 spots that are right on the river.
Yeah.
So we ended up with
We were a
the site away from the
little
river.
miffed about that, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it is what it is,
Yeah.
but they still had really good blueberry stuff.
Yeah. From there, we went to our reservations at Beverly Beach outside of Newport, Oregon. And if you're ever on the Oregon coast and you're looking for a great wait,
Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking of something else. That was after.
it's right. It's
I
right
know.
there,
Follow
it's
the
right there.
follow the map.
If you're ever in that area, Beverly Beach is it's my favorite state park in Oregon. You know, I've got some fond memories there because I went there ever since I was a little kid. But
We went there when we were dating.
yeah, all the way. And yeah, it's got a great beach. The campground has a lot of old growth timber, and it's really nice. So
You can go straight from the campground under the bridge, under the highway, and it goes right to the beach.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, it's a great beach.
It is a great beach. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Although this time it was a little cold on the beach, which is, you know, it's the Oregon coast.
Right.
That's what they do. But yeah, we went down there. We couldn't get cell service in the campground, and I had a friend in town who was gonna come pick us up and take us out to dinner. So we had to go to the beach to get cell service. It's 5G on the beach. But we got there, got on our phones, did what we had to do, and got the heck off because it's freaking cold.
We tried to find a little cubby area that we could get behind, and those were all taken, by the way. So
So we looked like a couple of teenagers. We're just out there sitting on a beautiful beach with the ocean there, with our heads in our phones.
to hurry up and get off the beach because
Yeah.
it was cold. And it might have been a little extra cold to us because we had just come from
Mexico,
Phoenix and
Phoenix,
Mexico, and we were accustomed to that. So the Oregon coast was a little chilly.
Kind of made us soft. All right, so from there, we went to, where was that at?
Gather and Feast. That was in Oregon. What
Is
day
it
was
in
that?
Oregon?
Or was it Washington?
I think it's in Washington.
Gather and Feast Farm. Oh, I'm gonna have to go to the map.
Going to the map now.
Site 20. Right there.
There it is. La Center, that's right. La Center, Washington. Gather and Feast Farm, they have the Scottish Highland cows and a bunch of other animals and 2 really cool, what are they? Guard dogs? What?
They were guard dogs. They were different.
Not
They were
guard dogs. What's the, not sheep dogs. What are they called?
I don't know what you're talking about. I would have called them guard dogs.
Yeah, but this is another word for them.
Yeah.
It's like sheep dogs, but it's, I don't know.
Shepherd.
Shepherd dogs? I don't know. I don't know. They were big. They were big dogs,
They were big.
and they chased away the coyotes.
Yes.
We could hear them because we were laying there.
They
and
did their job.
You could hear the coyotes start yip 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 yip. Pretty soon you hear the 2 dogs, and the coyotes disappeared.
Yeah. The owner brought them out to meet everybody because
They're super sweet.
They said that they would be wandering around at night, so he wanted to make sure that they had met us so that they wouldn't be, alarmed by us being out there, I guess.
Yeah, no, they were
So.
cool dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. And we bought some farm stuff there. Got some eggs, I think, and a few other things.
Yeah.
And then from there, we went to, this was the
Day 19. This is where I was.
Honeysuckle Meadery.
Yes.
This is like, and that's, where is that near? That was near that strange named town.
It was by Rainier.
Rainier, but that where we went and had breakfast was like, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, yes, this thing is like out in the middle of BFE, if you know what
It
that
was.
is. And there's no
Yelm.
Yelm, that was the word I was thinking of. Anyway, there was no sign. You just had to trust the map app that you were there. And guy, an ex-IT guy, I think he said,
Yeah.
for some big corporation.
Yeah.
And now he makes mead out of his garage.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all good stuff. And
Yeah, it
we
was.
did a little tasting, and we bought a couple of bottles.
And I was cautious. I shared his tasting. I didn't.
Someone was a little gun shy.
I didn't want to repeat of anything, so I shared his tasting.
Yeah.
I was a good girl.
And we bought 2 bottles and realized we could have satisfied our obligation with 1 bottle, because they were $30 a piece. $38 a piece.
Yeah, $38 a piece with tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was nice. There was a few mosquitoes, so we didn't spend much time outside.
Yeah.
But
It was a beautiful little place that they had us
Yeah,
park.
it was a great little, great place he lived in. You know, just it was like in the middle of a forest, and he had a couple like koi ponds that he put in to eat the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So,
On his side of the road.
on his side of the road, on our side of the road,
There was more
it was
mosquitoes.
a free for all, a bloodbath.
So we went inside with that one
Yeah.
because I'm a mosquito magnet, and even with the repellent that I put on, I was still getting some bites. So
Yeah.
we just went inside
So from there we went to Port Townsend, where our son lives, and spent a couple days with him
on his farm.
on his farm, and him and our grand dog Stella.
Stella.
And
We'll put a picture of her
yeah.
up.
After that, we went to Seattle and
Yeah.
dropped off the RV.
That rounds up that trip.
Yeah, so we got to spend a little time in Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
and we did a house sit while we were there, and I got to do some stuff that we had never done when we were in Seattle. We've been in Seattle before. We've done the underground tours, which are really cool if you're ever in Seattle. But ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to go up in the Space Needle and ride the monorail, but it just never worked out that we could do it. But this time we're like, well, let's do it. So we did that, and it was well worth it. I'm glad we did. And yeah, spent a little time down in Pike's Place, and that kind of stuff. And
Did the touristy things.
Yeah. And then we ended up here in Bend, where we are doing a house sit, which we'll get into that another time. Let's talk a little about the company we rented from, Roadsurfer. So overall, I give them, I don't know, we had to grade them on what do you think, a scale or an A through F?
Let's do A through F.
A through F. I would give them a B minus.
Yeah, I agree. That
Yeah.
sounds like a good rating. They were the van was great.
The pickup and drop off was pretty seamless.
Yes.
They had that down to a science,
Yes.
and the van was in decent shape.
It was well equipped.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a kitchen box. They give you bedding. For the most part, it was pretty well equipped. We did add a few things because there wasn't a very good knife in the set, so we added a knife.
They have, when you get
Couple
there,
things.
they have these shelves set up, and when people buy extra stuff, they put them on the shelves, so you get all these free things that you can take with you. So we stocked up on stuff that was in there, paper towels and
Fry pan.
bags and things like that.
Yeah.
But there were still a few items that weren't up to our standards,
Right.
our high standards. So we did add a knife. I found a fairly cheap knife that was still decent quality, so we could use that and things like that.
Tongs and some
Yeah.
kitchen shears.
Yeah.
Roadsurfer, if you're listening, kitchen shears.
Right.
Simple thing.
Yeah.
Well,
But I find that like with Airbnbs and sometimes even regular
Yeah.
houses. I mean, I'm used to like having nice kitchen shears and good knives, and I'm amazed at how many people's houses that we stay in that they have crap. Like a good tongs, not really rubber tongs. And give me some tongs that I can pick stuff up with. Sorry, I'm venting.
Oh.
Sorry.
On that note,
Yeah.
we liked our Roadsurfer, but there were some things that we would do different. We mentioned them in the previous.
Well, before we do that, let's
Oh.
the service with Roadsurfer.
Oh yeah.
We did have a few sort of slight mechanical issues with the vehicle, not with the vehicle itself, but with the components. Like the stove didn't light all the time. It's a gas stove, and it just wouldn't light. And so we contacted them on their, what is it, text?
The customer service
Their customer service
line, yeah.
and they would give you some canned response on what to do, and none of it worked. We ended up getting on AI, and AI said, "Well, try this," and pump it, and that got it to work. So we couldn't get any helpful, tips from them. They just had their canned responses. They didn't seem to tailor it to what our questions were. Because we even said, "Well, we've tried this and this and this," and then they'd say, "Okay, we'll try this and this." It's just what I said we tried.
Right.
So that was a little frustrating.
Yeah.
And the fact that the stove didn't work right, and towards the end, a few days before we finished the trip, it just completely stopped working at all. So there's little things like that. And we did have a problem with electrical, like I said, in one place it didn't work, and we thought maybe it was the vehicle, and they weren't super helpful. Again, we had to use AI to kind of troubleshoot it. So I was a little disappointed in that. That's why I give them a B minus. Everything else, like I said, the pickup and the drop off and everything was good, and it was pretty well equipped.
Yeah.
So, okay. So anyway, what you were saying?
I was just thinking, there were some things that we missed, some things that we would do different in our van.
Oh, just the layout of the van. That's not related to Roadsurfer.
Right. No,
they're just buying pre-made vans, and they're not.
And it's a van that would, does the average person for a vacation in the van. These vans are fine. Yeah. But one of the reasons we did the rental was so that we would know what worked for us and what didn't work for us and what we want in our van.
Yeah, because our plan is we want to buy just a van and then have it customized the way we want it. Because looking around, I don't see vans kind of laid out the way I want it. I mean, I've seen some that had some components here and there, but not exactly the way we're thinking we want it now.
So one of the things in our notes that I put that we would want different, I'm trying to find it now.
But while you're looking, I will say, generally we have found that space is more important than storage.
Yes.
Because this van didn't have a ton of storage, but it was more than enough for what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cramped because of that closet, the water closet.
Right.
If we got rid of that, it would have been okay.
And then there was some of the cabinets were in places that I wouldn't want a cabinet because I kept hitting my head, and I'm short, in certain spots.
Right. Well, there's a cabinet over the sink, and I couldn't brush my teeth because the cabinet was right where I wanted to bend over the sink.
And there was a cabinet just like the sink, and then there was a cabinet right here. And if I turned my head, it stuck out, and I kept hitting my head on that when I was doing dishes. And then the cabinet above the bed, I didn't have a problem with sitting up because I'm short, but Jeff kept, when he'd lay down or sit up, he would hit his head. So I wouldn't put a cabinet over the bed. And then we, of course, like we mentioned, we'd get rid of the toilet. We would have a different toilet system, get rid of the shower system. I would have more off-grid capacity.
Yeah.
And so that, like, what are those? A solar generator station.
We want a more robust electrical system.
Yeah. And
what we've found is the thing we like about that sort of lifestyle is being outside. And so what we need inside is a place for when the weather's bad, so we can come in and cook, and a place to eat and play cards or work on our computers, and just some place to be comfortable. so it needs to be more open,
Yes.
and we don't need a whole lot of tiny little storage things around, because there's the garage area, which is the back end underneath the bed.
Under the
We can
fixed
put a
bed.
whole bunch of stuff on there, and then storage boxes on the outside of the vehicle and stuff. So
Yeah.
so we learned a lot about how we'd want it to lay out.
Floor plan of it. The other thing that I want to mention is we would not do the refrigerator on the floor thing.
Yeah,
That-
it's like like a dorm fridge with it's a front facing thing.
Yeah.
I'm too old to bend over and try to figure out what's in the damn fridge.
I'd have to I'd sit on the floor and pull out stuff, hand it to Jeff, and then I'm like, is that everything? Because I'm not doing this twice.
Yeah.
And then I would get up and do that. So I wouldn't do that. I would do a chest.
A chest style where
Yeah.
you're getting it from the top is the way to go, I think.
Just something to be aware of. Boy,
Yeah.
this is going to be a long video.
It is. Sorry.
Sorry. Hope you're still with us, guys.
Yeah.
I think we're rounding it up though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a stovetop
Yeah.
on the the counter.
No built-in stove.
I would have a portable induction stove.
Yeah. I prefer cooking outside whenever I can, and when that's not available, then I think we'd have an induction burner, and then maybe get a backup, propane or butane one in
Yeah.
case we don't have electricity or whatever.
And then I think the last thing that I would make sure was different in our van, I don't think I'd have a gray water tank and a water tank. I think I would, but they're not that. I think I would have them under the sink.
Yeah.
Ones that there's little portable ones you could go and dump out and put back under the sink.
Yeah.
Rather than having to go to a dump station.
Right.
So I think that was pretty much what we found during the rental.
Yeah. So
I
did we
think-
like it and we want to do it? It sounds like we did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I hope you did too.
I think by this time next year we're going to have a van. So
Yeah. I loved being able to be outside. I loved the ease of it. The road trip is fun. The mobile home base. I mean, there's just, those are the things I just absolutely loved.
Yeah. So yeah, we're turning into van lifers.
It won't be till next year though.
Yeah.
Um,
We've got a lot of stuff going on between now and then. We've got France and Italy coming up, and Southeast Asia. So stay tuned for all of that.
Yes.
And hopefully you're interested in van life stuff. We're not going to become full-time van lifers, not yet anyway. But we definitely want to add it to the mix.
Yeah.
We like that sort of living mode, the familiarity of having all of our stuff, yet still kind of being mobile. So I think it's definitely something we're going to do next year, unless the stock market goes to crap and we don't have any money left. So yeah, there's that.
Why would you put that out there?
Fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
All right. Let us know in the comments below if you have anything that we missed or if you have any questions. Thank you for staying so long on this long video. And like and subscribe so that you can continue to follow our groovy adventures.
Yeah. All right. So, huevos rancheros.
See you guys.